Oh, yeah. So I hope Peter and Tree had a good retreat. And also I had a little bit of rest. Not real rest, but yes. Okay, so as you have seen, the virus is rapidly spreading in India, and also it is now spreading more in the rural area. So yes, we have some cases in Tibetan settlement in here and near Sarah. Fortunately, not in Sarah yet, and also some cases in Mongkut, where Ganden and Debung. And so that is the situation with regard to the coronavirus. And it is quite interesting. In India, virus is spreading. And yesterday or day before yesterday, the central government introduced unlock number 4. I don't know what they unlocked, but that's a big announcement they made. And it is chaos anyway. Oh yeah. Now, so today, this is our last reading in this prayer, the last reading, and our reading will start from the mantra. It seems the mantra itself is not in the original or the actual in the text. It seems it may have added later, according to some of the commentaries, and also the commentary that I'm reading. This great Tibetan teacher, Geshe Tashi Tsering, he didn't say that very clearly whether it is added later or not, but when I read his commentary, I can get that kind of indication. The mantra is added on later. Who or I don't know, because it says this. Tanimalam vichuktu chambe tamjave sungda malam sikje sum dembe sötupe. So it says there, saying now there is a tradition, at the end of the Maitreya's prayer, the prayer to cultivation of love. At the end of that prayer, there is a tradition to say the mantra, and also at the end of the mantra to say 3 verses, and then he start to do give his commentary on the mantra. So how he said, saying there's a tradition. So he didn't say, in the what you call the sutra. He didn't say that. So that's that's the indication. So the mantra in English translation, it is on page 55. The heading is mantra of Maitreya Buddha's promise. So it is tamjava, promise, in the sense, there are these, for example, people who have participated, like some, sometimes when His Holiness, gave 2 or 3 days teachings, and sometime in the middle of the teaching, second day or the last day, there will be he does a sort of, the together saying holding the bodhicitta. That's kind of ceremony, but led by, long, long sort of explanation, the useful, helpful of the bodhicitta and holding it. So that kind of ceremony is there, and that kind of tradition is there. It seems like this, bodhisattvas, while they are in the training to become, in the bodhisattva in the path, to become fully enlightened being, to serve the sentient beings. And the bodhisattvas, they do make certain promise or make some commitments, saying, when I attain full enlightenment, may this be happened. May I be able to do this, this, and this, and this. And this is what part of, it seems to me, part of that, because here we are still, the Maitreya, we are not treating as a fully enlightened being. We are treating Maitreya as a bodhisattva who is in the 10th level or 10th bhumi. We have seen earlier, and we talk about that the beginning of this text. So, Chambe Tamjave Song. Song is the mantra. Tamjava is promise, making promise. The mantra that Maitreya promised. Maitreya promised. So that is how this this mantra is in here. Mantra of Maitreya Buddha's promise. Here they put it Buddha's. It is, as I mentioned, I will not repeat that. Maitreya quite sometimes treated as a Buddha, sometimes treated as a bodhisattva, and there are different ways to do it. We will not go this again. So now the mantra itself, there's no Namo Bhaga, Namo Ranataya. So I will go the mantra and Namo Ranataya. So the Aya mantra. So the Natmo, that is paying homage. Namo is the homage or paying homage. Namo. Ratna. Namo Nichasawa. Ratna. Namo is making prostration. Bhagavate, that is saying, the Jomden de, destroy, in other words, destroyer. Jom is destroyer. Jomden means to have the possess. In other words, all the delusions are destroyed, and then possess, all the good qualities are cultivated, and that is what here Bhagavate in Tibetan, Jomden there. Then next Shakya Muni, and that is referring to the Shakya Tuba, that is Buddha Shakya Muni, Namo Bhagavate, Shakya Muni, and then Tata Gataya. Tata Gataya, that is saying, quite often translated in English, thusness, something like that. In Tibetan, Teshin Shepa. Teshin Shepa. What does that mean? Teshin literally means as it is. Shepa means gone. What does that mean? The meaning is, when it says Tata Gataya, what does that mean? The Buddhas or fully awakened beings have gone as the reality, as it is in the sense, the purify all the negativities and realize all the, the positivities. And, or in other words, as it is in the sense they have realized all the things as they are, conventionally and ultimately. So, Teshin literally means as it is. Shekpa means gone. Gone as it is, or gone thus, sometimes translated, or the meaning is, the Buddhas have realized the things and events as they are, in their conventional as well as their ultimate nature. And that is what here, the meaning of Tathagata, Tishin Shekpa. So this is referring to the fully awakened being. Then the next is Arhate. That is saying in Tibetan Dachompa, fur destroyer. In quite often translated in English, fur destroyer. That is Arhate. Where is the almost Tathagata, Arhate. Samyak Sam. So the next is Samyak Sam. And in Tibetan, that is Yang Thakpar Dzogpa. That means fully completed, or fully completed, fully accomplished. That is also can be translated like that. And Yang Thakpar Dzogpa, that means the Arhat, the fur destroyer, although they are free from afflictions out of two obscurations, they are free from afflictions, but they are not free from the what you call the out of the two obscurations, they are not free from the cognition obscurations, cognitive obscurations. So that is then the next one, which is says Samyak Sam, that is Yang Thakpa Dzogpa, that refers to complete, fully, or purely completed, or something like that. And the Buddhaya, that Sangye. So these two should go together. Samyak Sam Buddhaya, Samyak Sam Buddhaya. So that means, that refers to fully awakened being, or fully enlightened being. Fully enlightened being. It is fully enlightened beings refers to in Tibetan Yang Thakpa Dzogpe Sanje. Yang Thakpa Dzogpe Sanje. Sanje is enlightened. Yang Thakpa, what needs to be abandoned or purified are completely purified, and what needs to be, what's called experienced or actualized in terms of the quality, they all are actualized, they all are completed. Therefore, in Tibetan, the term is used Yang Thakpa Dzogpe, Sangye. Samyak Sam Buddha. So now all this, from take it the Namo, which is at the beginning, making prostrations. Now in Tibetan here, there's one full translation. It is saying, the Jomden De, Tishin Shekpa, Da Jomba, Yang Thakpa, Dzogpe Sanje, Shakya Tupa La Chatselo. So, when we, when we do that recitation at the beginning of the prayer, like His Holiness teachings and other teachings, you can see I haven't prepared this. That's true. I didn't get a chance to prepare this. There might be at the beginning standard prayer, extensive. What's this one? Sorry. I'm searching Dompa Chomden de Tishin Shakpa, that, when we, at the beginning of the teaching or gathering, you have that kind of, tradition to do the recitation. It seems it is not in this collection of texts. Okay, it doesn't matter. So this is what normally when we recite that, what you call the, the prayers to the Buddha, and at the beginning of that. Now, then the next, the mantra. Now we are going to the, and then the mantra is Tayatha. Tayatha. This is, we already mentioned earlier. That means thus, or Tayatha. Now then the mantra start with Om. That is all, the Om has three syllables, combined three syllables, O, Ma, and Om. That three syllables represents body, speech, and mind in general, and particularly in here, it represents Buddha's body, speech, and mind. Buddha's body, speech, and mind. So that is almost every single mantra station will have that that syllable Om. Then Anjite, Anjite. So Anjite, Anjite, the meaning in Tibetan, Mipampa, Mipampa. Mipampa, that Pamba, first leave with the me is the negative, and Pamba, it means defeat. Mipamba, that means non-defeat. So non-defeat. What does that mean? Have a non-defeated by, the anger, hatred, those, because it is talking about love. And so anjite, non-defeat, apa ranjite, so ne shengi metubam nepamba. So it has apa ranjite, it has two meanings, either to say the shengi metuba, not to be defeated by others. And here others refers to the afflictions, particularly hatred or anger, not unable to defeat by the anger or hatred, or so this is apa ranjite, that word, those syllables, shenji mitupa. So not unable to defeat by the others, or others here refers to the, the anger or jealous, anger or hatred. Mitupama, mipampate. Paranisheni. Okay, this done. Anikatsisheni turno. Then anjita. So then yang anjitin. So then there's a okay, Cheveturno. Now then I want to search the English. Okay. Samyak Sambuddhaya Tayatha Om Anjite here Anjite Aparanjite. So this in Tibetan is the Anjite. So here Ajite Aparanjite. So we finish up to here. So Anjite. First two Anjite refers to non-defeat, and Aparanjite saying, not defeated by others, and that is up to here. Aparanjite. Then Anjitinja ya, Aparanjite, Anjitinja ya. Okay, yeah, Anjitinjan. Then again, this Anji refers to Mipamte Anika Sitan. These are so now here, then the next, when it says after the Aparanjite, then the next Anjitinjaya, that refers to a victory from the defeat, and because the commentator gives more detail on each syllable, but the actual meaning, when it says Anjitinjaya, it means Kaptogi Gyalwa Cheba. Either to say the victory from the defeat, or you can say, more able from the unable. So that is unable in the, from the afflictions, and it become able from the afflictions. So, or victory from the afflictions. So this is meaning of Anjitinjaya. Metopate, Pampate, Dire, Chimanyile Chena, Akondo Sheba, Metopata, Pambami, Yursaro. Now then, okay. Then the next one here is Hara Hara. Hara Hara. That means in Tibetan talk. That means, the meaning of what you call attract. So Hara, talk. What does that mean? The attract, not attack, attract. When you say my mind is attracted towards something, when you say tokpa. So, for example, when you see some kind of amazing things, your mind goes towards that. Your mind is attracted towards attracted. Yeah, that is, I think, the word hara. So what does that mean? Attract in the sense your mind is really very much attracted by the love, by the that mipam, non-defeat, by the affliction in general, and in particularly anger and hatred. Then hara, Maitreya, that's Champa, love. Maitreya. Our lokite and the goodness sikpa. Our lokite has a meaning of goodness sikpa. Goodness sikpa, it means all the time observing all the time observing with the love. And that is what here Maitreya Avalokite. Avalokite also, Avalokite Shura, which has Chenresik Avalokite Shura. Why that deity is called Avalokita, because it with the compassion mind, with the compassion eyes, watch or observe to all the sentient beings all the time, with this particular, eye setting, with the compassionate eye, looking, observing towards all the living beings all the time. That's why it is called Avalokita. Avalokita in Tibetan. Jen Re Sik. Jen means eyes. Jen Re Sik means watch or look. So this Avalokita, Maitreya, Avalokita, Goodness Sikpa, one meaning. Goodness Sikpa means watching or looking after to looking after the all living beings. And that is Avalokita, with the love looking after all living beings. Maitreya, Avalokita. And then generosity. Next is Kara. Kara ni ze tam che. Either to say do, like the action, not passive, saying action, do, kara, in Tibetan, in Sanskrit, when you say karma, action, and this has this meaning, kara, in Hindi, if you're going to say in Hindi, do you have a job, do you have a work? In Hindi, kam hai. So have means have. So kam, kara. So this here, kara. Z said do. Or, so that is the meaning. Kara. Mahasama. Mahasama. Kara. Mahasama. Ya. Tamjik Chambo, the big or great promise or great commitment. And this refers to back to that deeds. Do, what to watch with love, with watching towards all sentient beings with love. And this is seems going back to refers to the previous one. Maha, as great, samaya, that is tamsik, or commitments, or great commitments, samaya, mahasamaya. Siddhi. Siddhi is muduk in Tibetan. Muduk is accomplishment. So when you do something, when you act something, then you achieve the result. And that is the accomplishment, that is the result. And siddhi, muduk. Bara. So bara, that means gyeba in Tibetan. That means increase the siddhi, increase the result, or increase the commitment, increase the accomplishment, that what is achieved, what is achieved, or what is achieved. Bara. Ma bodhi. Maha again, great or big. Bodhi, changchuk. That is the what you call the changchuk has in Tibetan many meanings. Chang has a meaning of purification. Chuk has a meaning of accomplishment. So these two words, two meanings. Chang has a meaning, connotation of purification. So when you say in Tibetan, changchuk, changchuk chambo, that refers to the full enlightenment. That means, chang means all the purification that need to be purified, they all are completely purified. And chuk, all the qualities that needs to be realized is also realized. And that is called changchuk chambo, and this is here referring to ma bodhi, bara, ma bodhi, great, the enlightenment. You can use that, great enlightenment, ma bodhi, ma bodhi, changchuk chambo, ma bodhi. Manda. Manda has a meaning, when you talk about such and such deities, mandala, that has a meaning of essence, also meaning of the center, guild, Gilkor in Tibetan, Gilkor, or it has a meaning, Manda has a meaning of the essence. When when we churn the milk and at the essence, the result, you will get the butter. So like the Manda has that meaning of essence or center or the essence. So in other words, Ma Bodhi earlier, that great enlightenment or complete enlightenment, Ma Bodhi, which is the essence, which is the center. Benze, Manda, Uvacha, Benze, Sabin, Mara, So then there's a Vaja in here, put it Vaja in Tibetan, put it Benza. Anyway, Vaja, V-R-J-A, that refers to Sabun. Sabun is the seed or a seed, seed or the potential. Here they put it Sabun. That is refers to Vaja in the English translation of the mantra, Sabun. Then the next, Mara. Mara refers to temba, remember, recall. Mara. Here Samara. Mara. Recall, or remember. Mara. Samaya, Kara. Karni. Okay, the next one, I don't know how to, now my brain confused whether I should follow the, written in English, the Sanskrit, or written read in Tibetan, which is, Tibetan Sanskrit reading is also not close to Sanskrit, and this one I'm not sure. So anyway, yeah. So now we finished the Mara, that is recall or remember. And then the next is asamkni. Okay, that is dacha. That means us, we or us. Dacha, us or we. That is samaya. Samaya is the commitment. Samaya. Tamsik kam nyamba. So it has also meaning. Tamsik is the samaya, or it also here it says has a meaning of nyamba, equality, equal. That samaya has also that kind of meaning. Tacha samaya. Nyamba. Bodhi. Now the next is bodhi. That is, enlighten, or in Tibetan, changchuk, bodhi. Mahabodhi, the great enlightened, and soha, shitsuk. Soha. Shitsuk means achieved or accomplished, shitsuk. Soha. So this last part from the sabun, which is vaja, that is the seed, and mara, which is remember or recall, and then it goes samki, that is just one word, dacha, that is us or we, samaya, that is referring to what you call the commitment, and then bodhi, enlighten, and then Mahabodhi, great enlighten, and soha, accomplish or achieved, shitu, or get the shitu. So that is the really the meaning of okay. Kashiku Chana Madhimidoshana Samadhi. depend. Yeah. So it has several different sections. When I read this, there are sections to refers to the quality of the love, which is saying anzite, that is not defeat by the not defeat. Not defeat refers to not defeat by anger or hatred or jealous, all those afflictions, and also Shenji Mituba, unable to defeat by any afflictions or by any others. That I think refers to again the mental qualities. And then there is a section of talking about this hara talk that attract by the love, and that love, with that love, the watching or gazing towards the living beings all the time. That is avalokita. Kara, that is the action, do or do, and that kind of do in the sense bodhisattva's deeds or the work for the living beings, and ma-sama, that is that kind of great commitment, that kind of great big promise, siddhi, that then moves to different one, seems different, slightly different sort of part. Siddhi, that is the essence, accomplishment or accomplished, that bara, that kind of accomplish, be increase, and ma bodhi, that great enlightenment, be which is the essence, manda, that's the essence or the center, and then goes to another part of sessions mantra, anji, vaji, that's seeds, and mara, remember. That I think the seed may refers to the bodhicitta or love, I don't know, and the remember, or mara, remember, or hold, recall, and then asamk, that is us or we, samaya, have this, samaya or commitments, great commitments, and then bodhi, changchuk, and ma bodhi. So it can be changchuk can be refers to three. First bodhi may refers to the out of those two arhats, hearers arhat, and solitude realizes arhat, bodhi. Then the third bodhi, which is called ma bodhi, that is may refers to the full enlightenment. And then soha, that means accomplish or achieved or experience, shitsu. So that is the mantra which we normally recite. Okay. Big thing. I don't know myself, and I didn't get a chance to prepare this one today. My apology. Now then the then the next two mantras are not here, which is in the English translation. They put it, but I will not go. It is not here. And then after the mantra in English say, when I die, when my death comes to me in this place, may I pass with the ease to the pure land of Ganden. May I quickly please the bodhisattva Maitreya and learn from him the time and the place, learn from him the time and the place of my awakening. So in Tibetan, there are three verses. I think that usually there are three verses. Yeah, there are three verses. So I will go those three verses in Tibetan. So the first verse after the mantra, the first verse is this. Di geve dakshin doagun. Di, that geve dakshin doagun. By these virtues, by these wholesome, that is what we have recited, what prayer that we made. Dakshin, I and others. Dak is I, Shen is others. Doagun, all the macerator beings. Doa is macerators or living beings. All living beings. That's the first line. Shibu Gurbe Merla Gadendo. So Shipeva, she is when we die, death. Shipeva, that when we die, death is what Shipeva, Gurbe Merla Gadendo. So Gurba means when the death occurs, occurs, immediately. Merla, that means immediately. Ganden is Sukhavat. Ganden. Here, leave it as a Ganden. Joyful land. Joyful land. Ganden. Now that is second line. So it has a meaning of soon after or immediately, may passed away or died, and at the Ganden, Chögi Tongwe Kangsang Tergene, Chögi Towe Kangsang, Chögi Towa, Chögi, saying from the Dharma's point of view, which is the highest, the palace, or highest, from Chögi Towa, through the dharmic activities or through the dharma activities, which this place Ganden, which is the highest or which is the most, highest Torah, Kangsang Terkene, be born at that palace or at that place, which is the most highest or most Chögi Tongwe, Kangsang Terkene, Mepam Chöje Seki Torsho, Mepam non-defeat. That refers to the Maitreya. Quite often, Maitreya in Tibetan refers to Gyawa Mipamba, Gyawa Mipamba. That means, non-defeat Buddha, a victory. Mipam Chöje. Chöje refers to the Dharma king or Dharma, Lord of Dharma, Chöje. The Mipam Maitreya, who is the Dharma Lord of Dharma, Segi Tor Sho, may I be born. So the meaning is, due to these virtues, may I and all living beings, soon after passing away from here, be born in the Ganden, which is the highest, the sort of virtues, virtuous place, and to be born in there, where the Lord of the Maitreya, Segi Torsho. Segi Tor means his or her main disciple, chief disciple. Se is, literally means sons, but here it refers to, the se or son or daughter, the main or chief, son or the daughter of the, follower of the Maitreya. So that's the first verse out of 3. Then the second verse, Sachu Wangchuk, Gyalsap Zamling Do. Sachu Wangchuk. Sachu as you know, earlier we have this word comes across, that is 10 bhumi, 10 levels. This is again refers to the Maitreya, who is still bodhisattva, bodhisattvas who is at the 10th bhumi, 10th level. Sachu Wangchu gets up Zamlingtu. So this, the bodhisattvas, Maitreya, who is at the 10th bhumi, 10th level. Wangchu, literally it means, the sort of Wang to Chukwa, sort of empowered all the, empowered all the goodnesses are empowered, and that, the Gyaltsap Zamlingtu, Gyaltsap, that means, sometimes literally translate regent, in the talking about when the meaning is this, the meaning is this. If I say the meaning, then you will understand. According to the, the Mahayana Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhist teachings, one fortunate eon, 1,000 Buddha will come. One fortunate eon, 1,000 Buddha will come. And out of the 1,000 Buddha, the current Buddha Shakyamuni, the Lord, the Gautama Buddha, is the third, no, fourth. Fourth of it. Now I'm lose my, fourth. And then fifth is the Maitreya. So quite often Maitreya is also refers to Gyaltsap. That means when the Lord Buddha, Gautama, comes, what you call the, comes down to the world, on this planet, and the Ganden, in the Ganden where he used to be, Maitreya Buddha sits there as his substitute or representative or whatever. So that's why quite often Maitreya Buddha is also called Gyaltsap, representative of the Buddha in the Ganden, his Maitreya Buddha's teaching. So that's all this background story anyway. So when the Maitreya, the 10th bodhisattvas who is in the 10th bhumi, when this bodhisattva comes down to the world, on this planet, and then when the Maitreya Buddha actualized the fully enlightened being. So here it didn't say the fully enlightened being in the second line. Topju ngawa. Topju is referring to the 10 powers. I think 10 powers will come across when we read the King of Prayers, which I'm planning to do that. So that there are the fully enlightened beings have many different unique qualities, and one set of unique quality is called Topju, the 10 powers. So this is saying the Topju ngawe kobang. Topju ngawa. Ngawa means accomplish or actualize or realize or have. Topju ngawe kobang nibetse. Kobang is status or hood, like Buddhahood, the kopang. Nyebetse, nyeba, literally it means found, or so the meaning of that second line is this: when you accomplish, when you realize the powers, in the state of the 10 powers, that is, in other words, saying when you actualize full enlightenment after coming to this, on this planet. Now then the third line, Sungi Duzi, Sung is his teachings in this case. Usually Sung is speech, Sung. Gu means body, Sung means speech, Tuk means the mind. So here the sung refers to the speech, duzi or speech or teaching, duzi tongmar, duzi means the nectars, duzi, nectars or essence, nectars. Here duzi, tongma, right at the beginning, the first person to experience, the essence of your teachings. Sungri duzi tongma rap nyong ne, rap nyong, nyongwa, that means experience. Rap to nyongwa, that means fully, completely, or fully, completely, experience the essence of your teachings after you attain enlightenment, coming down on this planet. And then say, may I, complete all the Buddha's deeds. Jawa victory, Zeba deeds, Malu or Tarchin Sho. Tarchimba, that means completed. May I completed all the victorious deeds by completely experiencing the essence of your teachings right at the beginning, soon after you attain full enlightenment after coming down to this planet. So that is the second verse. Now then the third verse is already mentioned in here. That's the last verse. Dine shibu yumata, saying, from soon after dying from here or passing away from here, di really referring to here, from here, di here, shibu yumata, immediately, passing away from here. So dine shibu yumata, Ganden kene yikawa, second line, with joy be born in the Ganden, joyful land, to be born in Ganden kene yikawa. Nyurtu chamgun nyechene, third line. Soon, the Jamgun, the Maitreya, be pleased. Changju longden topasho. May I receive Changchuk. Changchuk is the enlightened. Longden prophesies. Prophesies. Topasho. May I receive the prophecy of enlightenment. By the by the Maitreya. So that is the last verse. And these three verses usually we recite after the mantra recitation. Okay. So my mantra translation and the giving meaning is not that great, because first of all, it is a little bit messy, and I didn't manage to do the preparation. So that is finishing our reading of this nice prayer. I really suggest, not every day, occasionally when you have good free time, very slowly read line by line, verse by verse, have some understanding what you are reading, what you are saying verbally, that will be very, very nice. Very meaning actually really here, main meaning, as we have seen, the entire text can be divided into three. Not talking about the first part of the main body, divided into three. The first part is engaging in seven limb prayers, 7 practices such as prostration, offering, purification. Some are obviously mentioned, some are not directly mentioned, but indirectly we have seen. That's the first part. And this is very common practice, as we all know. It is that 7M practice. These 7 when we engage in these 7 practices, what we are doing is we are preparing our minds ready to engage into practice. That's why quite often in the Tibetan tradition called preliminary practice, like 100,000 prostrations, 100,000 Vajrasattva recitations, and so on and so forth. 100,000 waterfall offerings, and that's why it is mainly making, I usually call, preparing our minds, become very susceptible to engage in cultivation of love, compassion, altruism, and so on and so forth. So the main body, first part is that 7M practice. Once you learn in a 7M practice in one part of, for example, if you learn quite well 7M prayer or practice associated with this text, then it is exactly the same. You can just change the words, some are short, some are long, otherwise same. Then the second is the after doing the 7M prayer, then the main part of the body is engaging in the bodhisattva deeds. First having the holding the bodhicitta, then like the generosity, ethics, and so on and so forth. Those 6 perfections. 6 perfections. Quite often when these 6 perfections are mentioned, or discussed, they are mentioned or discussed in a very high something. We ordinary people can't do that. That is a little bit mistake. We ordinary people can do. Whether that become complete perfection or not, that is arguable. But we can do all these 6 deeds, from generosity to up down to the wisdom. So and that is the second part of the main body. Then third part here, today's our recitation, and that the part of the dedication. In the text there are 2 verses after the sixth perfection. Then there are 2 verses before the mantra. That's more like a conclusion. Then recite the mantra. So that is really I enjoy. Due to your kindness, I got a chance to read the commentaries, and I enjoy doing it. And as I said, beginning of reading this text, here in the ceremony we have annual Maitreya, the practice 7 days. Usually it falls in November or December. It follows the Tibetan calendar, and they start from morning around 2:30 and continues. And the main recitation is this prayer. Each session, there are 6 sessions a day. Each session, there are different tunes, sometimes very fast, most of the time very, 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 very slow. And I can understand why it's saying very slowly. That gives you a chance to think what you're saying, not just verbally blah, blah, blah. And you have a very nice tune, too. So, okay, that is my blah, blah. And thank you for coming or some of you are listening from the site where we put this, and also from the YouTube and others. So we have the Peter and Tree kindly doing these works, and we have a plan to further, not immediately, but we have a plan to to do some other. So you check our website and you will see if there are some more blah blah. Okay, so now 21 para private station. Bodhāhāya nechō tamī jānggō nechō Baba meje ulan jen tesum sanje chenama Toma koje shencho padang tani chöben Shabgi pemo la tuete pongpa pongpe doze Doma yumla changse Om je ma pama doma la changse Changse doma nyuma pa jene keche la danda Jike sungwen chöge she je kasa jiwa mene Changze dongge dawa kundo kawa jeni penshen Kama tongda tsoba namanje rato chewe raba Changze sengwe chune je je peme chame Jimba tsundu kato shewa soba samden chune Changze dejin shebe zu to taye nampara jawa che Malyo paro chimba to be jawe segi shindo den Changze duda rahun yige duda choda Jigden Dombo Shaki Nende, Lupa Meba Gubane, Chanze Gajin Mela Chamba, Lungla Natso, Chombo Rana Jisa Namanda, Nijin Soye Gunete, Chanze Teje Chadang Peji, Paro Chupo Rendujo, Ego Inja Shaki Nende, Meba Chupan Shindo, Chanze Turi Jigwa Chenbo, Digi Pao Nambarjo, Chugi Shane, Chonye Denze, Chao Tamje. Changze Gunjo Sunze Chaje Seme Toga Nabaye Mali Choji Kolo Jenbe Rangi Veji Changze Rabdu Gawaji Be Ujin Veji Changabe Shiva Rabji Duda Raye Duda Jiden Wanduze Changze Sashi Kyungwe Tso Nama Tamje Guba Nemani Chonye Yewa Yige Hongi Pongba Tamje Changze Dawe Dombo Ujin Jemba Tamje Shindo Rebe Chune Ba Mele Tabare Shindo Changze Gebe Tama Me Tara Barwe Tingwe Unene Ejan Yung Gune Koro Gai Dai Pune Changze Sashi Mola Chage Teki Nijin Shage Dong Chonye Jenze Ige Honge Rimba Tumbu Namige Changze Dema Gema Shima Nyangen Deshin Ju Soa Onda Yanda Denbe Dikwa Chimbo Chumbani Changze Gune Korwa Gawe Dai Lune Nabargen Ige Chube Ngane Gobe Rikwa Hongle Domani Changze Turi Shamne Dabe Honge Nabe Sabuni Rameda Radan Beje Jigen Suma Yoani Changze Hai Tsoi Nabe Rita Kajen Chang Tara Niju Pegi, Duna Malu Panis, Chanze Hai Sonum Jebo, Hatan Miam Jedem, Gune Koja Kawa Jede, Zodan Melamungi Basem, Chanze Nima Kawa Jebe, Jini Pola Rosem, Hara Niju Duda Rai, Shindo Chagurin Sem, Chanze Tini Sumnam Gurbe, Shive Tudan. Dudan Longa Niju So, Chamba Ture Ramchoni. Savenga de Doba Teta, Chanze Wane Niju Zang. Changju Semjo Rinpoche, Maje Pan Jeju, Jeba Nyamba Meba Yang, Kongne Kondo Bewa. Kangri Rave, Korwe Shingam de Pendang Dewa Malu Chenre Sengwa Tenzin Jazo Yi Shabe Sede Pato Tenjo. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Don't know when you will see when we are going to see it, but I will see you soon. Thank you.